Hello everybody, welcome to Seton Academy episode 6 anime review halfway point, and we met a new character. It's a panda, and pandas apparently, I didn't realize they were that rare, you know? I knew they were like endangered or whatever, or maybe not endangered, can't remember. They're rare, but I didn't know they were like top 3 rare. That's pretty rare, you know? I do sort of like what they did with that though, you know, how they were like, okay, pandas are a rare animal, how are we going to turn that into a character? Kind of like it. Maybe not the masochist thing. That was a bit like, oh, okay. I saw that coming too. I was like, oh, I see where we're going with this. We're doing a weird thing. That's okay. Not that if you're into that, that's up to you. I am not, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, it was I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the episode. I think she'll be a fine addition to the cast as long as they don't go too far in that direction with it. You know, if it's balanced, it's fine. But if it's unbalanced, then it's not fine. That's a really easy statement right there. Anyway, let's get into the episode, see what went down and everything. Let's get into this. So everyone in the school knows this transfer student is a real big deal. They're drawing lots to see what job they're going to get to welcome the transfer student, including building a hot spring, which is something Jin does by himself, because I guess he figured if they try and help me, it's going to take way longer than if I do it myself. So I'm just going to do it myself, get it done quicker, which, you know, that's a fair plan. The panda is the transfer student. She is called Mei Mei, and not to be confused with Meme. Mei Mei. She's first thing we see of her, pretty much, she complains that they got the wrong grass for her. You know, and then we're like, we're going to airlift the right grass in, and I was like, I'm not gonna like you already. I'm glad she hasn't, you know. Anyway, then she talks to the student council president. It's like, do something funny, and she strips off, which, because I guess that's funny. But Mei Mei's already left. She runs to King and cuts off his mane, or cuts off part of his mane, and then the rest of it just explodes because he's gazing at Chiho out the window like, oh, you know. And then Mei Mei puts the mane on herself because she does whatever she wants, because she is a brat. That's a good word to describe her, a brat. She smells the cooking club, what goes in and sneaks in and eats their panda food. I can't remember, panda dumplings or something they were called, and whatever. And she's like, make more of these for me. And then Jin's like, the hell do you say? Because Jin don't care who you are. If you're not human, he ain't gonna like you. Which, you know, that's not a good attitude to have in this world. But Jin is, you know, she keeps trying to get him to do what she wants, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna do that, you dumb idiot. And then he throws her out, literally throws her out of the room, which, okay. And then the next day she bothers him some more, and he again is, you know, Jin, and then her plan was basically, because she's rich, she bribes all the other club members into letting her in, and they all let her in, and Jin's like, well, that's not good. I help you make the dumplings. This is him talking, but you gotta help. And she does. They cook together. She gets annoyed and throws it on the floor. Jin doesn't take too kindly to that at all. He's like, pick it up now. How dare you waste food? Which, to be fair, don't waste food. That's an easy thing to say. Then we find out she's like, this abuse? I like this abuse. And I'm like, yep, saw this coming. From their first interaction, I kind of was like, oh no, they're going that direction, aren't they? Successfully made some dumplings though, but then she says, I want to join. Or they say, do you want to join? And Jin's like, no, she's not joining. There is no way we can allow her to join. And he's adamant on this. No pandas allowed in the cooking club. We briefly learned that pandas were big in zoos apparently. There was long lines, which I guess is, you know, relevant somehow. And she officially enrolls at the school and asks to join the cooking club again. Jin's like, no, you have to get every member to agree to let you in. So, gotta find Kurumi. Kurumi's not a fan of her. When she shows up, Kurumi like hides under the table and hisses at her like a right cat. Because she is a cat, get it? It's funny. And then they lock Mei Mei in a cage, and Kurumi is back up briefly, and then she's not because they try and make her to be friends, and Kurumi has none of that. She's like, I'm not going to be your friend. I don't like you. And fair enough. I was wondering if cats and pandas were like locked in combat from an early age or something, but no, I guess it's just, they said it's like she doesn't like strangers, which I guess makes sense. I don't like strangers very much either. Kurumi, we are spirit, you know, what's the word? Kindred spirits, that's the one. Then Then Mei Mei refuses to leave the cage until Kurumi accepts her, so they just leave her there overnight. I guess the teachers were okay with that as well. It's like, yeah, we're just going to leave her in a cage overnight in the school with minimal food and not even like a pillow or anything. So, teachers, you know, I'd say they need to be fired, but they are dinosaurs, so, you know, I'm not gonna say anything. And then Kurumi's also there at night. She, I guess, snuck in and is just looking around like a right cat. And Mei Mei's like, this is the most fun I've ever had, getting abused by that gentleman and hanging out with the cooking club. Acting like a regular person, basically. And Kurumi's like, you know what, it's like that for me too. So she leaves, and then when she wakes up the next morning, she's got a blanket for her. Oh, how nice. And there's also a mole rat there, which I guess was from Kurumi. I don't know why. I guess that's the thing cats do, innit? They like bring you stuff if they like you. Like they bring you like dead rats and stuff. Which is like, alright, thanks for that, cat. I've never had a cat, but I've heard stories of people who have had cats. Jin lets her out the cage. Kurumi likes her now, there's a hug, but then she leaves after that. It's like, oh, okay, no, she doesn't like her. And then Jin's like, it's just what cats do, man. And he's like, okay, I guess she does like her. You know, good stuff there. She's in the club now, hooray! And then Ranker's all like, you have to lick the boss to, you know, to get in the club. And Mei Mei's like, okay, and she licks Jin. And then they're like, no, I'm the boss. And it's like, oh. And then a lot of Jin being threatened to be executed, and he's just not bothered. So I guess fair enough. You know, I can't argue with that. Then at the end, we get a hot spring scene. Thumbs up for hot spring scene, and we learn that the blanket was actually Jin's blanket. Jin brought the blanket for her because he's a nice guy, really. Good stuff. Then, we're not quite done yet. There's more to come. Post-credit scene. Yina is wearing a high school, a girl's uniform now. Still got his, like, or her, I don't know what we're going to call it, you know? She's wearing a girl's uniform, so I guess she's a girl now. That's the only thing I can use to identify, so I'm going to go by that. But she's still got the hair she had before, not like when she was dressing up as, you know, for the first time. They did her hair. She's still got the old hair. And then after that, Shiho is now hanging out with a gazelle, who I guess is the sports club captain, and is like, don't talk to carnivores. And King gets really mad, and he's bold now. And Yina's like, whoa, I can feel his power radiating off his boldy scalp. And that was the end of the episode. Yeah, I'm enjoying this show, you know. I really shouldn't be, and, you know, it is... I like that it's not just it is a straight up high school show, and at the same time it isn't. The animal thing is pretty clever. I actually think it's maybe not unique, because there are a lot of shows that have animal people in them, but it's certainly the fact that their actual like animal instincts, I guess, or their animal traits are still there, and it's not just cute girl with cat ears, you know. It's like, actually, yeah, she's a full-on cat basically. I like that. I like that a lot. But then sort of also how they like the panda, they worked it into the, you know, the story, I guess. It's good. I like it. I like it a lot. The thing I'm most curious about is this whole saga with King and the Shio and now this gazelle or antelope or whatever he is. I'm so curious to see what that's the gripping part of the story. What's going on with King? I want him to win so much. If in the final episode he doesn't win, and Shiho's like, yes, I choose you, King. God, we need that. We need that in our life. That's the hook this show has. Forget the main stuff. King and stuff. Good stuff. I said stuff about 7 times there. Alright. Thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. There's a lot on the channel. Check out our main channel as well. There is stuff over there too. I will see you next week for another episode of this. And bye guys.